to Navigation Trading Live. You are now part of a growing group of do-it-yourself traders who are trying to change the way investors think about building wealth. But because we don't believe in using financial advisors, stock tips, or traditional financial media, we have to do things different. We have to do things smarter. We do that through an art and a science we call trade hacking. At Navigation Trading, our methodology is based on statistics and probabilities, not hype or emotion. Our core strategies have been used by market makers, hedge funds, and floor traders for many years. Now, we share these secrets with you. Whether your goal is to make an extra $1,000 per month or replace your current income, with our guidance, you can achieve financial success beyond your wildest dreams. So, let's get started. Good morning, Navigation Traders. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Welcome to Navigation Trading Live. If you haven't already, make sure you connect with us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Stay up to date on all the cool stuff that we've got going on, all the great stuff we've got coming out for you all as members. So, and don't forget, this is all about you. So any questions that you have or any topics that you want us to cover, shoot us an email or leave your comments here on Facebook and YouTube. We stream live every Monday morning, 8:25 a.m. Central, just before the markets open. So you can leave your messages and comments here on Facebook and YouTube, or shoot us an email and we'll do our best to integrate them into the broadcast. So one quick announcement before we jump over to the platform, and that is this Thursday, October 26th at 4 p.m. Central, we are doing a free webinar, a free web class called Discover Scientific Options Trading. And we're really excited about this because we were able to lock down the creator of the CML backtester, Ophir Gottlieb. So Ophir is going to be joining us, not only showing us some of the really cool stuff that the backtester can do, along with the new scanner that's built into the software, but just talking about some of the different scientific and statistical data that you can gather from the backtester and how to implement that into your trading. Now, it's going to be more than just talking about the backtester. It is going to be really, for a lot of people, it's going to change the way you think about trading from a statistical and a probability standpoint. So you don't want to miss this webinar. We've got some cool gifts that we're giving away for those who do attend. So make sure you mark it on your calendar, Thursday, October 26th at 4 p.m. The link to register is in the notes here in the description of this video here on both Facebook and YouTube. So just click on that link, get signed up. I think with this the webinar we're using, I think it's limited to 100 people. So make sure you get signed up. Don't get locked out. And that way you will be a part of this cool event. So look forward to that, and if you have any questions, you can email me as well at info@navigationtrading.com. And then don't forget, we've still got our course available, how to trade options on earnings for quick profits. We are right in the middle of earnings season, so a lot of these stocks coming out with their earnings announcements. So if you want to get up to speed on how to profit from these events, just go to navigationtrading.com/earnings and check that out. So let's go to the platform and take a look at what's going on in the markets. Market's not open yet. So one thing that in relation to not only earnings season as well as the backtester, I want to take a look at a couple of different stocks for our trade of the week, just to give you an idea of kind of the thought process and the methodology of how we go through this. And let's start with Facebook. Okay, so Facebook, if you click on the little blue circle here, Facebook announces earnings on 11/1, okay, November 1st, after the market closes. So that's in about 11, 12 days, right? So what we can do is we can use this backtester to say, okay, if we looked at Facebook, and let's just start with a long call, right? A lot of these big tech stocks have this momentum going into earnings where the price kind of anticipates a big earnings announcement, so it goes up before the earnings announcement's even released. So one of the strategies that we can use for this is a long call. And so if we do custom earnings and we say, okay, we've got 11 days until they announce, and we're going to close it out the day of, the day that they announce, or right before they announce. Well, if we go to the platform and take a look at Facebook, we know that they announced 11/1, and so that would put us in the option cycle with 11 days to go. So I'm sorry, that'd be nine days to go. Open the position with 9 days before earnings, but then we're using the days to expiration of 11. Okay, so what you'll see here is if we buy a long call, and we like to manage those winners at about 40% of max profit, what you'll see is that anywhere from the 40 to 20 delta has been profitable over the last few years, but not great, right? I mean, it's been a profitable trade. Our winning percentage has been over 58%. 7 wins, 5 losses, 8 wins, 3 losses, depending on the delta that you buy. So we usually buy anywhere kind of this 20 to 50 delta. The 50 was actually the least profitable. And then the 40, 30, 20 were all profitable, but not great, right? So, this is one that you could consider to buy a long call on, or you could look to buy a straddle, which is buying both the 50 puts and calls here. So you would just be looking at this here, and we like to manage those at 20%. And you can see 8 wins, 4 losses, but really not very profitable. Okay, so this is kind of the process I go through of leading up to earnings for those pre-earning strategies that we teach in our course. What are the best strategies? Well, I probably wouldn't do a long straddle. I may not even do a long call, even though they have been somewhat profitable. It's just, as you can see down the graph here, it's up one time, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And yeah, we're profitable, but it's just not overwhelming, right? But what if we took a look at another stock and took a look at Google? And Google actually announces on the 26th, which is just 3 days away. So we'd be using the option cycle with 4 days to expiration. So let's take a look at what that looks like and see if there's anything better. So we've got that. Change this to Goog. And then we want to change our custom earnings to open the position 3 days before earnings and close it the day before they announce. And look at this. These are even better. So, and I've got this set at 20. Let's manage this at 40% is what we typically like to do. Okay, and that gets even better. So the winning percentages, all 63%, 7 wins, 4 losses, but the profit is much more significant. The return of 40 delta is kind of the default for the strategy over 213. So the one thing and we did a trade like this in Amazon last week, and it's actually going against this right now, but we've got some time before Amazon earnings, and you want to continue to treat these each individually. But if we take a look at doing the 40 delta, okay, that's the delta that I would choose for this trade, and we go to the platform, we take a look at Goog. We're going to do it with 4 days to expiration, and we choose the 40 delta. Now, what you'll see is you're going to pay about $1,450 is the amount of capital that you need to do that. So you might say, okay, we've already got a big position on in Amazon with about $1,600 of capital used. Do I want to risk that much on another trade? Well, what you can do is you can take a look and say, okay, well, what about the 20 delta call? It had the same win rate. It actually had a higher percentage of P&L. What about the 20 delta? And so you could take a look at the 20 delta, and then you can see, okay, we're only paying about $5 for this. And maybe if that fits better, if you're trading a smaller account, maybe that fits better into your wheelhouse as far as what would be a good amount of buying power to reduce for one trade. And so let's right click on that, buy single. And let's take this, we're going to get filled, not at mid, but probably right off mid, maybe 560, let's say. So let's analyze this trade. And what you'll see here, click off that one. What you'll see is that you've got price trading right here at 987, and this date needs to be on October 23rd. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. So what you're seeing, price is right here, and so we need to move up. Obviously, we want that momentum to carry. We want the stock to push up before earnings. Now, the other thing you'll notice is if you look at the theta, in this case, we're looking at a theta of negative 135. Okay, most of our trades, we want to be positive theta, right? We want to be collecting that paycheck. Well, in this case, it's actually a negative number. And so that's what happens when you buy out of the money options. And so the one thing to understand is I would never, ever, ever buy a 20 delta call. I would really never, ever buy out of the money options except leading up for these pre-earnings announcements, okay? And the reason is because we expect implied volatility to increase going into earnings, okay? We want this to increase. We want price to increase, and we want implied volatility to increase. And if both of those happen, we are going to benefit that position. We're risking 560. We're looking to book about 40% of profit, so let's say 250 bucks. So if it makes a move up to, not even up to $1,000 from where it is currently, we're going to book that profit and run. So that's the power of these strategies. This is just one strategy that we teach in our earnings course. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording right now. This is our trade of the week. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit closer look at this and make sure everything lines up correctly for what we're trying to accomplish for our alerts portfolio. If I get filled, I'll shoot that out to alerts members. And if you haven't tried out the navigation alerts, we've still got our special where you can sign up for 2 weeks for just $7. Just click on the 2-week trial anywhere on our website, NavigationTrading.com. Look forward to a great week of trading. Everybody have a good week, and we will talk to you next week. See you later.